It's Academic is recommended as an educational and informational program for children.
Team from Hammond. Wild Lake. And Centennial meet today in a playoff match on It's Academic. Hello, I'm McGarry. Here's the opening round. Each team begins with 100 points. It's 10 up for a right answer, but 10 off for a wrong answer. In this round, the contestants here in the studio don't see the writing on their screens that you do at home. Team whose light is on first has a chance to answer the question. Here we go. I don't know how the expression plain Jane came about, but it does not apply here. Identify the following women, real and fictional, who share the first name Jane. First, she wrote such novels as All Right, Centennial.
Jane Austen.
Right. She was the third wife of England's Henry Hammond.
Jane Seymour.
Right. This Jane is the title character of a All Right, Centennial.
Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre is right. This actress, activist, and fitness expert is married to Ted Turner. Centennial.
Jane Fonda.
Right. She was the reclusive wife of our 14th All Right, Centennial.
Jane Pierce.
Absolutely. In legal cases, this pseudonym is sometimes used. Hammond.
Jane Doe.
Jane Doe or Jane Roe, right. This lady was briefly proclaimed Queen of England in All Right, Hammond.
Jane Grey.
Yeah, Jane Grey.
That's right. Ernest Gaines wrote the autobiography of this Miss Jane. Hammond.
Okay.
You have it? Quickly.
Pittman.
Jane Pittman.
That's right. Tarzan's Jane shared Hammond. Shared the last name of the better-known writer O. Henry Jane Porter, 10 down. This amateur detective was created by Hammond.
Miss Jane Marple.
That's right, and there's the opening round of It's Academic. It's Academic. Brought to you by Giant Food. Giant. Fresh ideas, great value. That's Giant. Rocking and rolling into another playoff match. Each of our teams today has already won one game. Today's winner goes to the semi-final round. So here's winner number one. It's Hammond High in Columbia, Maryland, Howard County. This turns out to be an all Howard County program today. Stephen Kaltenbaugh.
Hi, I'm a 14-year-old freshman, and I'd like to thank all the students that came out to sports today, especially Missy, the Golden Bear.
All right, Missy, yes, indeed, is Missy Peltzman. She's the Golden Bear. Here is Zach Richardson.
Hi, I'm a 16-year-old junior, and I'd like to thank our administration and teachers who are here supporting us today, as well as our exotic dancer, Jenna Kay.
All right, Zach. They love you for that. And the star of the show, Meg Tilley. Okay, Meg.
Hi, I'm a 17-year-old junior. I'd like to thank our coach, Mr. Jenkins, and also the team from Howard for scrimmaging with us to help us get ready. And I'd also like to thank our parents for coming out to support us today.
All right, Hammond, take a look at the screen. Each correct answer worth 20. We see first, poi, creeps. If you don't like Polynesian food, you can rearrange this to name what optical instrument that allows a submarine to see surface vessels.
Periscope.
Periscope?
Right. Treacherous, seriously ill, old-fashioned. Someone who is perfidious may best be described by which of these terms?
Treacherous?
That's right. The Sacred Farce. On your monitor, the paraphrased title of what major work by Dante divided into the Inferno, Purgatory, and Paradise?
The Divine Comedy?
That is right. L, blanks, and R. Here you have the first and last letters in the names of what famous Europeans? The German who began the Protestant Revolution, the Frenchman who is considered the father of modern chemistry.
Yeah. Luther and Lavoisier?
20, that's 40 points there. That's a double, yes. Mugwump, mossback, muckraker. Which of these historical terms would best fit the turn-of-the-century journalist Lincoln Steffens, who exposed civic corruption in his book, The Shame of the Cities?
Muckraker?
Right. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. This statement was not made by a chef peeling onions, but by what ancient Roman who gave Caesar's funeral oration in Shakespeare's play?
Cassius.
Yeah, okay. Cassius?
Mark Antony. So good run, though, Hammond. 260 after your part of the round. Next winner in the first round is the team also in Columbia from Wild Lake High School, Matt Buckner.
Hi, I'm the 17-year-old senior. I'll be attending Harvard University in the fall, and I'd like to thank all the students and alternates who came out to sports today.
All right, Matt, and here is Matt Mugman.
Hi, I'm a 17-year-old senior. I'll be attending University of Pennsylvania in the fall, and I'd like to thank Mr. Plunkett, our principal, Mrs. Austin, our coach, and all the faculty members who came out to support us today.
Good luck in the fall to both of you, and Brian Hall.
Hello, I'm an 18-year-old senior. I will also be attending University of Pennsylvania in the fall. And I'd just like to thank friends and family for coming out and supporting us today.
Take a look at the screen, Matt. Each correct answer worth 10. Here we go. 20, I should say. It is 20, isn't it? 20, that's right. Robe me, rat. Rearrange the letters in this anagram to name what sort of device invented by Torricelli that measures atmospheric pressure.
Barometer.
That's right. Conquer, understand, forget. If someone told you he wanted to subjugate the world, he would be expressing a wish to take which of these actions?
Conquer it.
Of course. The myth of Drowsy Valley. Here you have a paraphrase of the title of what Washington Irving story about Ichabod Crane?
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Right. F blanks T. These letters begin and end the last names of what two men? The German scientist who developed our common temperature scale, the American admiral who won the Civil War Battle of Mobile Bay.
Fahrenheit and Farragut.
40 points. Lusitania, Johnstown, stock market. Many anniversaries are happy occasions, but most people would rather forget that 1999 marks the 70th anniversary of which of these?
Stock market crash.
Right. Life is a great adventure. This enthusiastic quote comes from what American president who enjoyed many adventures as a big game hunter and as a cavalry officer in the Spanish-American War?
Theodore Roosevelt.
He's the man. Wild Lake 240 after your part of the round. 240. As I say, our format is all Howard County all the time. Here we are in Ellicott City to meet the team from Centennial, another first-round winner, Casey Frodema.
I'm a 16-year-old junior. We'd like to thank our alternates, Deep, Vic, Tim, Bobby, David, and Howard.
Okay, Casey. Charles Lynn.
Hi, I'm an 18-year-old senior. I'll be attending Princeton University in the fall. I'd like to thank our drill team and pep band for coming out to support us today.
Okay, and Albert Luo.
I'm a 16-year-old junior. I'd like to thank our principal, Mrs. Linda Middick, our coach, Mr. Rod McCaslin, and our friends and family for coming out and supporting us today.
And I want to thank Dave Garris, Matt Kircher, Kristen Wilhelm, and Scott Paulus, members of the band, whom you will be hearing later on. All right, Centennial, here you go. We see first one turn. Turn around the letters in this to get what uncharged particle found along with the proton in an atomic nucleus.
Neutron.
That is right. Volcano, tidal wave, blizzard. Which of these phenomena is sometimes described by the Japanese word tsunami?
Tidal wave.
Right. The storm. This simple phrase paraphrases the title of what Shakespearean play featuring such creatures as Ariel and Caliban?
Tempest.
Right. E, lots of blanks, and S. Fill in these blanks correctly. You name both the outer layer of your skin and the tube through which food passes on its way to the stomach.
Esophagus and epidermis.
40 points. Jackson, Nixon, Tyler. Of these three presidents, which one did not have the chance to deliver a formal inaugural address because he took office only after the death of his predecessor?
Tyler.
Succeeded William Henry Harrison, is right. The South, the poor South, God knows what will become of her. These were the last recorded words of what South Carolinian who had left the vice presidency over the issue of nullification?
Calhoun.
He's the man. Centennial 280, the end of the round. Each year on its academic. Each year on its academic, Giant Food awards more than 100 scholarship grants to help deserving students continue their educations. Because this is a playoff match, today's grants total $1,200, with the winning team school receiving $500 and each of the other schools $350. During the school year, grants to schools appearing on its academic are over $85,000, and over the years Giant has been our sponsor. They have contributed more than $2 million to participating schools. Giant Food doesn't select the individual scholarship recipients, but leaves that choice and the administration of the funds to the schools. This scholarship money has gone to help students attend colleges and universities across the country, where they study everything from accounting to anthropology, art history to nuclear engineering. We at It's Academic and Giant Food wish them all the best in the future. In Columbia, Maryland, has a score of 260. Wild Lake in Columbia, 240. Centennial, Ellicott City, the lead, 280. Now it's time for our all-visual round. Each correct answer worth 10 to the team, but 10 off for a wrong answer. And the team whose light is on first has a chance to answer. Let's look at number 1 here. Streets still pulse with activity night and day in what former British Crown colony, Centennial?
Hong Kong.
That's right. Next, in Florence, you can see Ghiberti's intricately carved doors made of what alloy of copper and tin? Centennial.
Bronze.
That is right. Picasso named this painting The Young Women of what French city? Centennial. Avignon is right. For x not equal to 1, this is the equation of a straight line. What is its, all right, Centennial?
5 halves.
Its slope is 5 halves is right. You can see the determination in the face of what 16th century English queen, Hammond.
First? Okay. Elizabeth the First?
No, I'm sorry, Mary Tudor the First, not Mary Stuart, the Queen of Scots, but your answer was wrong anyway, so 10 down. This multicolored ceremonial headdress was worn by a member of the Comanche tribe of Native Americans, most of whose members are located today in what Sooner State? Centennial.
Oklahoma.
Right. Entitled The Balcony, this picture was not the work of Monet, but of what other French artist? Wild Lake.
Manet.
Manet is right. Back in 1938, these Washington, D.C. women chained themselves to cherry trees scheduled to be cut down to build the memorial to what third Centennial?
Jefferson.
Right. When this coin was originally minted in 1877, it was worth how much money? The equivalent of 1,000 at Hammond. Your answer.
$10?
$50, 10 down. No candidate for anyone's best dressed list. This actor is portraying the title character in an old movie made from what Daniel Defoe novel? Wild Lake.
Robinson Crusoe.
That's it, and there's the end of the round. Welcome back. Now I have the pleasure of introducing the faculty, coaches, and administrators who are with the teams as we update the score. The team from Hammond in Columbia has a score of 240. They coach Mr. Bob Jenkins and the assistant principal, Ms. Rose Friss. Thank you very much for being with us. The team from Wild Lake in Columbia has a score of 260. Their coach, Ms. Nancy Austin. The principal, Mr. Roger Plunkett. Thank you for being with us. The team from Centennial, Ellicott City, has the lead at 340. Their coach, Mr. Rod McCaslin, and the principal, Ms. Linda Mittick. Thank you all for being with us. Big crowd. All right, now teams moving on into the next round. Each correct answer is again worth 20. See the lights above the team score. If they're on in a row like that, that'll show 8 questions in a row answered correctly. Good for a 25-point bonus. Hammond is up in the round, so Wild Lake select. Matt, which one?
3.
Here you are. Stephen, Zach, and Meg with your turn in the round. In the last 53 years, only 7 men have served as Secretary General of what international peacekeeping organization based in New York?
United Nations.
Right. Sir Walter Raleigh named the state of Virginia, but his own surname identifies the capital of say again?
North Carolina.
That's right. If its hills were alive with the sound of music, which Italian city would have concerts on the Palatine and Capitoline Hills?
Well, okay. Rome?
Right. On the monitor, the force of attraction of 2 oppositely charged point particles varies inversely as which of these?
Distance squared?
Right. Colonial Spain had a role in the American Revolution by helping pay for what 1781 campaign in which George Washington forced the surrender of Cornwallis.
Yorktown?
Right. If Native Americans had participated in Olympic races, what Longfellow character would have won in a walk because he could stride a mile with each step?
Yeah, that's right. Hiawatha?
That's right. On the monitor, simplify this expression.
A over 4B?
Right. The first chief executive to take the presidential oath of office in his own home was what 21st president, the successor of the murdered Garfield?
Arthur?
Bonus for Hammond. Yes, you had them all. Good. Excellent job moving them up to 425. Now Wild Lake is up. Let's see if they can do it. Centennial select. Charles, which one?
2.
Here you are. Matt, and Brian, with your turn in the round. The Revolutionary War radical Christopher Gadsden is credited with designing the flag that warned, "Don't tread on me," and picturing what sort of creature?
Snake.
Right. Located in southern France, the Languedoc Canal is an important transportation link to what large sea separating Europe from Africa?
Mediterranean.
Right. At the end of World War II, the Japanese surrender ceremony took place on what ship, named for the state whose capital is Jefferson City?
Missouri.
Right, on the monitor. An idea of central importance in aerodynamics is that as the velocity of a fluid increases, which of these occurs?
Pressure decreases.
Right. Before the Civil War, the future Confederate General Jeb Stuart led U.S. cavalry in what territory then called Bleeding
Kansas.
Right. Long before the Red Cross was founded, the Red Cross Knight was a central character in what epic poem by Edmund Spenser?
The fairy princess.
I'm sorry, the fairy queen, but close. On the monitor, simplify completely this expression.
2x minus 5.
Right. In 1920, Harry Doherty's prediction that the Republican presidential candidate would be chosen in a smoke-filled room in some hotel proved correct when what victorious candidate was selected in just that manner?
Hoover.
Harding is the man there. So Wild Lake 380 after it's part of the rest. Leaving number 1 here for Centennial High School in Ellicott City. Cyrus McCormick reaped fame and fortune with his reaper, but Cyrus Field went bankrupt improving what invention that uses Morse code?
Telegraph.
Right. Although you might associate skiing with the Swiss Alps, the first slaloms were raced in what Scandinavian country where you might shuss down along the fjords?
Norway.
Right. England has many officials with such lofty titles as Lord High Chancellor. But what Englishman held the position of Lord Protector from 1653 to 56?
Cromwell.
Right, on the monitor. If you wanted to produce only carbon dioxide and water, you would do which of these things?
Oxidize a hydrocarbon.
Precisely. To relax on a sailing vacation, you might want to read W.B. Yeats' poem titled Sailing to What B initial city that was later Constantinople?
Byzantium.
Right. F. Scott Fitzgerald said the important thing was that one put into a novel, but what author of The Old Man and the Sea insisted that it was what one left out?
Hemingway.
Right. On the monitor, solve for X.
-3.
Right. Electricity replaced gas lights in 1892 at the end of the administration of what president who served between Grover Cleveland's 2 terms?
Benjamin Harrison.
Bonus for Centennial. Yes. They're doing some high-powered work here today. Let's check these scores before we get to the grab bag free fall. Hammond now at 425, Wild Lake 380, Centennial 525. Grab bag free for all. Each correct answer worth 20. 20 off for a wrong answer. Team whose light is on first has a chance to answer. We have visual questions, each of which is worth 30 points up or down. Israel is sometimes called the land of milk, and what sweet substance? Hammond.
Honey?
Right. All 4 verses of our national anthem end with what same word? Centennial.
Brave.
Brave.
That's right. The 23rd Psalm was once rewritten by what 18th century British essayist who worked with Richard Steele on The Spectator? Joseph Addison. On the monitor, a 30-point question. Delacroix painted this imaginary battle inspired by his visit to what North African country? Wiley.
Algeria.
Morocco, whose capital city is Rabat, so 30 down. Although the Caribbean island of Nevis has a tropical climate, its name comes from a Spanish word, or at Centennial.
Snow.
For snow is right. In ancient times, blacksmiths paid special homage to what god of the forge, Centennial.
Hephaestus.
Or Vulcan is right. In 1869, the Smithsonian Institution helped establish the Powell Expedition to explore what river, which flows through the... All right, Hammond. Your answer? Quickly. It's the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon, 20 down. Dating from 1870, on the monitor now, here we go. Dating from 1870, this picture shows Susan B. Anthony on the left. Hammond.
Elizabeth Cady Stanton?
That's the other woman is right, 30 points. If the cosine of 60 degrees is 1/2, what is the cosine of 420 degrees? Centennial.
1/2.
Right. A contest for the war with the most unusual name might be one. Hammond.
War of Jenkins' Ear?
Is that your coach? Right, that's good for 20. Choice. According to the theory of relativity, if an object is in motion relative to an observer, the observer records that the object elongates while it
Shrinks.
That's right. Well, we'll accept that. It contracts, so we accept it. That's right. On the monitor, a 30-point question. Not much changed since Darwin visited here in 1835. Wiley.
Galapagos Islands.
Those are the Galapagos Islands, that's right. One example of a palindrome is the young hero of Dickens. All right, Wiley.
Pip.
Pip, spelled the same backwards and forwards. Long before Ronald Reagan became U.S., he's a president, at one Greek word meaning, I have found it, Hammond.
Eureka?
That's it. The Mexican War was opposed by what former U.S. president who served in the House of Representatives? Hammond.
John Quincy. Okay. John Quincy Adams?
That's the man. In 1958, when parking meters were first allowed in England, London installed what number of parking meters? Equal to 25 square. Hammond.
625. 625?
That's right. An Iroquois word meaning beautiful waters names what river formed by the Allegheny and Monongahela. Hammond.
Ohio.
That's right. If the legendary... Say again?
Ohio?
Hammond.
Ohio?
Yeah, Hammond is right. If the legendary King Minos were minus his kingdom, he'd be missing what largest of the... All right, Centennial.
Crete.
Of the Greek islands, Crete is right. In 1896, the Rumford Medal of Britain's Royal Society for Science was given to what German physicist who had discovered X-rays? Centennial.
Röntgen.
Right. While many famous paintings... Is that it? Am I hearing the buzzer? Is that it? That's the buzzer for the end of the... It's all over. Show sneaked up on us, but it's over, and here are the final scores, and time for us to make our awards. Thanks very much to the team from Wild Lake High School. They're in Columbia, and the award from Giant Food is for $350. Very good work, Matt, and Brian. Thank you. And the excellent team also in Columbia, Hammond High. Hammond. score of $555. Another award for $350 from Giant Food. Now, our winning team and winning score is in Ellicott City, 645, Centennial High. The award from Giant is for $500. And thank you very much, KC, Charles, and Albert, as we also thank Stephen, Zach, and Meg. And KC, Charles, and Albert will be back in the next round to face two other playoff winners in a semifinal match. Next week, another playoff Linganore, Governor Thomas Johnson and Athelton. I'm Mac McGarry. Thanks, parents and teachers. Now, come on up here.